Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this fine? What is today? Tuesday morning. It is chilly here in California. 57 degrees. Brr is all I can say. After having spent quite a few years in Colorado, yeah, I know it's not nearly that cold, but I'm telling you, I am just not used to the cold. I guess it's part of being born and raised in the Los Angeles area. Exactly. Well, let's see here. I think we've got that set up. I think we're good there. Looks like it's streaming over there. All right, here we go. We're getting there, everybody. Haven't seen Alex yet. Let's see if who else is here today. Oh, there's Dave. There we go. And let's see if I think we have James as well. Well, good morning, Dave. You are in the hot seat today, sir.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh. That's all right. I think we got the
TikTok.
other guys. What's that?
Damn TikTok.
I figured it must have been something like I thought you were having some issues.
Oh, I've got issues, Sam, but we're not going to talk about those on the show.
Exactly. Probably a wise choice at this point. Dave, how are you doing, sir?
Good. You guys?
Doing good. It's just chilly. Oh, you found the one that I put? Nice one. Exactly. We're going to talk a little bit about Papi Trumpo. Morning, James.
Perfect.
Morning.
Are you on the road still?
I am.
All right. Try and keep that excitement down, would you please?
He's a ball of fire.
He's a ball of fire this morning. Where's your rocket fuel? Do you not have it this morning?
I already did.
Oh, you already did.
Mm-hmm.
You're on top of it. So
I am.
This whole Papi Trumpo thing, you know who that is, right? Il Donato Trumpo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have followed him for years. Him, them, whoever it is. I have my ideas on who it is. And I think it's probably much closely associated with President Trump than people think. And, and just because of over the years, I've seen him, what he's posted and how it kind of corresponds to what's going on. And he actually followed me back a couple of years ago. And that's one of the reasons I know we're being watched. There's no question in my mind. But what is your take on Papi Trumpo, Dave? Who do you think it is?
I mean, it could be Dan. It could be Barron. That'd be my two guesses right up the top.
Yep. Alex, what do you think?
I think the account's too old to be Barron, given Barron's age. Could it be Dan? I mean, media secretary, potentially?
That's what I'm thinking. James, what do you think?
Could be Q Plus himself.
Exactly. James, any ideas?
I was going to go with Q.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's an extension of somehow, some related, and it's just a guess on my part, but it just seems interesting, some of the things they post. All right, well, let's say some good mornings here. Wendy J is here. Good morning, Wendy. Mark Matson. Hitesh Hits is here. Towie Bixby, GG20, Jan Lovin Being Grandma. Virgo 47 said it's him. I would not be surprised if he has a hand in that, but who knows? Lisa Maria is here. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Exactly. Hit said, I think it's DJT. I would not be surprised if it was. Diana Tony Grouden said, Trump, if you're watching, it's time to take them down now. Exactly, Diana. Andrea Lynn is here. Good morning, Andrea. David Morales over on YouTube, and Earl Shannon. Good morning. Earl Shannon on YouTube said, good morning, TikTok troublemakers. Boy, isn't that the truth? Let's just we should probably get a side bit going on how long it's going to take for James to be bumped off today. I don't know.
Well, the content that I have, it's a likelihood.
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise. Let's put it that way, James. All right. Well, let's see. Hey, Nurse just showed up. Good morning, Nurse. Grand Rising. She said, Grand Rising, young fellas. Boy, doesn't that feel good. Young fellas. Let's see. Jerry BR549 is here. Kissing Bandit and Lipstick. Oh boy. Baby Girl is well. Mary Lee's Brown. Good morning, Mary Lee's. Wendy J. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. All right, Alex, let's get into some indices here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This fantastic Tuesday, 12/16/2025. I won't make that mistake again. Markets are, man, let's just get into it. S&P 500 down 22 points to 6,794. Dow is down 235 points to 48,180. NASDAQ is down 4 points to 23,051. Looking at commodities, mixed bag, holding pretty steady. I wouldn't say down, up. It's kind of steadily ticked down from the all-time highs where we were at. Gold is down $4 to $4,331 an ounce. Silver is down 38 cents to $63.21 off of its $64 all-time high. Meanwhile, the good news, crude oil is down $1.37, sitting at $55.30 a barrel. That is down from the previous administration's high of $80 a barrel. Looking at the crypto market, Bitcoin, a little bit of a rally at 1.6%, up to 87,760. XRP is up 0.8% to $1.93. Ethereum is down 1.4% to 2,948. Stellar Lumens is up 1.3%, sitting at 22 cents. Cardano up 1.66 to 39 cents. I wish it was up 166, man. That'd be great. Looking at today's drops. The first one for December 16th was in December 16th, 2019, 3,693. Same evidence to free Flynn, currently being used to indict others, GJ. 302 mod, 1 count. Who listened in 2 count, FISA. 6 counts, FBI, 1 agent, P, Flynn interview. If FISA warrant was illegal, if FISA warrant predicated on illegal, uncorroborated, if FISA actors possibly withheld exculpatory evidence from the court, watch what happens next. And then the most recent one would have been April 28th, 2020. It has a link to nichegamer.com. Billionaire George Soros invests $45 million into Activision/Blizzard. Dates are important. SWC dropped December 16th to closure. Coincidence? SWC. Look into that one. Soros invests on February 14th into Blizzard. Coincidence? Does anybody know who Blizzard owns? Activision. The minds of young play a lot of games. If you know some storylines, I happen to be a gamer. Some of the storylines, pretty coincidental for given times. Desperate times call for desperate measures. When? Why do you expose what you know publicly?
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh boy, my mic just went out on me. There we go.
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I was talking and nobody was here. I wasn't hearing myself. Alex, thank you. Let's see who we have else here. In fact, Alex, you were talking about video games. What is the most what's one of the most popular games now? Is it eating popcorn? Is that what it is?
Eating popcorn. Popular games. You have the Call of Duty franchise, which last year was the top-selling game in history. This year you have Battlefield 6, who is dominating. Both of these are first-person pew-pews, and they have both multiplayer and single-player portions to them. On the single player, which they call campaign mode, you go through a series of storylines, and you have to achieve objectives as you go through the storylines. But the storylines of these typically center on espionage, sabotage, particular events that might be similar to Sum of All Fears, and you're either the hero or the villain. Quite frankly, I'm going to go with the hero.
Yeah, exactly. I was just curious. I haven't played games in so long. Let's see. Rick Senior is here. Wildlife fan said, "Hey, dysfunctional family." Boy, you know as well, don't you? Wildlife. Virgo 47 said, "Sam, we're the same young age." I like that attitude, Virgo. Sherry from East Tennessee is here. Laura McCrae as well. Benji 1959. Big Ben is here. Good morning, Ben. Full Metal Jacket is here. Hey, Metal. Been getting your messages. Are great, man. Keep them coming. Beaver's here from Colorado Springs. Benji 1959 said, "World of Warcraft. Is that still a game?"
It is. It's a role-playing game. You can be a wizard, or you can be a healer, or you can be a warrior. One of the most successful games in franchise hit.
Interesting. JP Metal Slayer said Call of Duty. Mystery Earth said Arma 3. Benji 1959 said Blizzard. Exactly. Vicky Veronica is here. Good morning, Vicky. Oh, Crystal Zesty said, "My son is Addy today to Arc Raiders." I'm not sure what that means, Crystal.
He's addicted to a game called Arc Raiders.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's a pretty neat game. Interesting fun fact about Alex Raymer. Go back 24 years. I was actually one of the first beta testers for World of Warcraft pre-release.
Wow, very cool. Yeah, I think the last video game I played was Crash Bandicoot.
All right, I'm gonna let everybody in. Hold on just a second, Sam.
Okay. Let's see. Extreme Diecast is here. Good morning, Extreme. Rick Senior said, "I'm old. I play Sudoku." Exactly.
So, this would be my collection. StarCraft collector's editions, Diablo collector's editions, and every World of Warcraft collector's edition from the beginning.
Wow.
So, to give you an idea, there's probably, I don't even want to admit it, there's probably $3,000 in collector's editions sitting right there.
Wow. I didn't even know they had such a thing.
I'd like to have every dollar you spent on video gaming.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Every minute you played playing them.
Yeah, well, no kidding.
Hey, we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, I'm not judging. Believe me, Adams.
Yeah, I just wish I had every dollar.
Adams Brian Key said, "Love your content." Thank you, Adams. Beaver said, "I used to play Pong on Atari." Exactly. Boy, we are dating ourselves here.
Bloop.
Melissa Flitter said, "Remember Space Invaders?" Oh, I do remember that. John Gwynn said, "My daughter and I play Wizard 101. Oh, interesting. Jess Berry said, "We love Crash." I know, right? Oh, my goodness.
Well, the World of Warcraft series is likened to what I'm sure the older crowd might know as Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Nurse said, "What an awesome collection." Hey, Teresa Freya Contractors here. Brian said, "I play Mario Kart on Nintendo Switch with the kids. I'm a loser." No, you're not. That's wonderful that you're playing with the kids. Hey, Martini.
Well, he probably loses to them.
Yeah, probably. Exactly.
Yeah.
Martini Time just showed up. Hey, Martini Time. Glad you could make it. Martin's WB is here. Lace and Steel. Holy smokes. The whole gang's coming in. Kathleen Paschke's here over on Facebook. David Morale said, "I believe Baron has the keys to Pappy's time machine." Interesting. Ozzy Crosby's here. Skippy said, "World of Warcraft is cool with me." Ozzy Crosby said, "I'm playing GTA as we speak." Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's see. Dave, let's do a farming and agriculture report here.
That sounds good. I just want to let everybody know I have not made it past Miss Pac-Man yet, so I haven't advanced from there. So soon to be back on that to get organized. Markets for the corn. Corn is down 2 to 3. Soybeans down 7 to 8. Wheat is down 6 to 10. The good news, cattle is up over 1%, and hogs are up over 0.8%. A little bit of news out of Wisconsin. The local county and stuff officials have found bird flu in a dairy herd up in Wisconsin. So,
Oh
but
boy, here we go.
yeah, the human risk is low, is what they said. So we'll see what all that consists of as they dive into it.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Virgo 47 said, "Are there any more messages on the debt clock?" Not that I'm aware of. Now, I'm sure that there may be, but I don't know off the top of my head. Magic is here. Brian is here. D is here. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see. James, do we have a military report today, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. The military, the Southern Command has conducted 3 more lethal kinetic strikes targeting 3 more vessels yesterday. Among those was 8 smugglers that met their demise, 3 on the first boat, 2 on the second, and 3 on the third. At least 90 smugglers have been taken off the map, and dozens of vessels in the Pacific, the Caribbean since September. 47 says, after seizing the tanker, I assume we're keeping the oil. And I do like that. Trinidad and Tobago has given the U.S. authority to use their airports for logistical operations, supply replenishment, and routine personnel rotations. Kamla Persad Besigir, I don't even know, I butchered the name, the prime minister says she would rather see drug traffickers taken off the face of the earth than to bring drugs to her people. So she's helping as well. And I think that's, I think what we're doing there is only going to get bigger. I think we're going to escalate to probably even a further presence. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see another aircraft carrier.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I would not be surprised either, James, especially with all that's going on over there. Let's see here. Hit said, Alex, I used to play Sinclair ZX Spectrums and Commodore 64s. Nut is here. Good morning, Nut. Rick Sr. said, is Miss Pac-Man still around? Kissing Bandit Lipstick would like to know as well. Jan Lovin being grandma said, Alex, my son would be jealous. I'm sure there's a lot of adults that would be jealous of that. Oh my gosh. Wendy J said, I miss Turok and Halo. Oh, I don't even know what those.
Turok was pretty awesome.
Wow. I don't even know what those are. I mean, I think I've heard of Halo, but I don't know. Sue B is here. Kissing Bandit Lipstick said, what is canonics? I'm not sure what that question is.
Don't know.
Anybody know what that is? Okay. JP Metal Slayer's here. He said, I play Snow Runner. Nice. Man, there's all these games that I have no idea what they actually are. That just cracks me up. All right, so let's move into some stories here. First up, the country of Chile has turned hard to the right, tough on crime, anti-immigration, and their candidate, Antonio Cast, won. What do you make of that, James?
Well, I think that you're going to see more and more countries come to light. I think that part of the problem is they're answering to the tariffs that would suggest they're going to lose money instead of make money. So it makes sense that they're coming to the right.
Yeah. Alex?
Well, we know that tariffs are the end of what? The central banking systems around the world. So as governments come online, I think we're going to see more and more. They're going to love. Quite frankly, they're going to love the tariffs. They're going to be great.
Exactly, Dave.
And he won with 58% of the vote. See if this sounds like anybody. He pledges to tackle crime, expel undocumented immigrants, attract investment through free market approaches.
Gee, what a concept, right? Jeez. Right. And this is spreading all over the world, you guys. This is not just an America thing. This is going on all over the world. and we're moving back. That pendulum is swinging back to critical thinking, rational thought. And I, for one, am glad to see it. Can't come fast enough.
What if Trump? What if Trump is Pac-Man, and the deep state are the ghosts?
There we go. Boy, I haven't heard that in a long time. Incredible. So 4 people were charged with plotting a New Year's Eve bomb attack in California. FBI revealed footage from a surveillance plane showing the 4 that traveled out to the desert to test their explosive devices. Now, are we going to see a whole litany of supposed terror plots being foiled? Are we going to see a catalyzing event? I don't know what to make of it at this point. What do you think, Dave?
Well, they talked about it happening in 5 different places at midnight. So 5 different places. And in my opinion, hopefully they get foiled, but I think we'll see some major events happen. You tell if 100 people snuck in that didn't like us, you tell them 100 people at this time, at this date to do something across the nation or the world. I mean, it feasibly could be across the world and happen. So, I mean, I think this was right along the basis of what we've talked about in the past.
Well, and I think if you're looking at supercharging the people in a specific direction, what was one of the most uniting and coalescing events that took place in our lifetimes? And that was 9/11. After that happened, I mean, everybody was driving around with flags on their cars. And, I think Bush had an over 90% approval in a very short amount of time. James, What do you make of that?
Oh, so did Rudy Giuliani. I mean, with what they answered to. Back to this particular topic, the group of people were called the Turtle Liberation Front. They're a pro-Palestinian group. They're anti-law enforcement and anti-government. Tina Lay, Zachary Aaron Page, Audrey Carroll, and Dante Gaffeld were charged with conspiracy and possession of an unregistered destructive device. Like Dave said, they were targeting 5 different locations across the Los Angeles area. Pam Bondi said that they also plan to target ICE agents and vehicles.
Alex?
Yeah.
Well, they had a YouTube for that turtle stuck on deck group or whatever the hell they call themselves. Had one video. That video's a few months old. Seems to me a pretty quickly stood up scenario. Kind of strange, but it also, like Dave said, brings to the forefront again what we talk about a lot. 18,000 known terrorists walking the streets of our country unchecked, unabated, to do whatever they want to do. And you're looking at how many individuals here, 3 or 4. What happens when you multiply that across the entire United States? If you picked, I don't know, 15 or 20 of the top cities and put 2 people in each of those cities, it's just not good. Sarah Carter has said it with open source information about what these people have been training to do.
Well, and I think the key term that you used, Alex, 18,000 that we know of. Exactly. Yeah. Full Metal Jacket said, multiple false flags expected. Desperation brings stupidity and destruction. Very good point.
And remember, there was a 5th person arrested in New Orleans for a separate but alleged linked violent attack. So right there, we've talked about 5 in L.A., possibly 1 in New Orleans. So obviously, keep a head on a swivel.
Right, and as I've been saying, I think there could be a catalyzing event to bring the nation together, because unity is what the Patriots are after. Could it be something significant? I'm not saying that we're going to be looking at another 9/11, but could it be 10 or 20 of these terror plots foiled? Could that bring the country together? I don't know. It's possible. Ozzy Crosby. Yeah, somebody was just saying that. Oh yeah, Brian said that sound brings back memories. Wow. Ozzy Crosby said, "What I don't understand is how are they managing to find boat pilots that are willing to meet their maker to take these drugs out into the open sea? knowing it's almost certain death? Are they being forced? Well, we're seeing, one or two events, 3 or 4 events. There's probably, I'm guessing, hundreds of those boats. So they're kind of rolling the dice and saying, well, 1 out of 2 or 3 or 4 out of 100, odds are pretty good they're going to make it through. I don't know. It's just a guess on my part. What do you think, Alex?
Well, look at the foreign countries. Look at I think it's lost, and I don't mean this in a condescending way, but I think it's lost on a lot of Americans what a person's way of life looks like in other countries. These people that are deeply embedded in these scenarios, you don't know their situation. You don't know what threats potentially loom over them or their family members if they don't somehow. I listening to podcasts and the things that go on, when you look at the recruiting mechanisms, they use this app. They use all kinds of things to simply lure people in with what was it, like make $2,000 quick, like just a super simple thing like that turned into a young man that was actually a mule in the United States for cartels in South America. This is a worldwide, huge, massive network, and you don't know, once they, much like what we talk about with Epstein files and how they manipulate and corrupt, and once they've got you, once you're in, it's very difficult to get out, and if you are a threat to the organization, you don't get out.
Right, exactly. Melissa Flinner, thank you for all the gifts. Jerry BR549 has her back. He said, hit the arrow in the bottom right corner and hit repost. Yeah, everybody share this live out. We're trying to break this algorithm on TikTok. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but let's see if we can't. Wendy J said unmanned planes. Interesting. Jerry BR549 said all kinds of social media. PJ Party said also would not go to the 2028 Olympics either. Well, again, could that be a place where there's a lot of people where anything could happen? Absolutely. She also said that she wouldn't go to Disneyland either. Yeah, my Disneyland days are over. My kids are grown, fortunately. Did I get everybody on that? Okay. So we talked a little bit about this in the beginning of the show, but I think it's important. I don't know if it's important, but I really enjoy Papi Trumpo, or Il Donato Trumpo, Papi Trumpo. And just like Dave has on his screen there, it seems like he seems to have an inside track. He, they, she, whatever, has an inside track on what goes on. And this has been going on for years now. Now, I don't know if it means anything. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I wanted everybody to be aware of this particular account and go follow them, whoever they are, because there's a lot of information there that comes out that I think, this is an example. You got Trump wearing 3D glasses and eating popcorn and saying, this is going to be a week for popcorn. I think there's something to it. I don't know. It's just something I wanted everybody to be aware of.
My wife said, let's get it done. Let's move forward. Let's get it going. I said, I agree. Hopefully this is the week.
Well,
hopefully
we'll
this
see.
is the week.
I don't really look at it as an event as much as a process. I think it's going to take time, just like with the crypto, like Alex always says, it's not an event, it's a process. And I think that's what we're in the middle of.
I'm ready for the big part of the process.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everybody is, but just like you said, Sam, this is going to take time. Governments move at a snail's pace. Like it's in every single room that they walk into to flip on the lights, the cockroaches run to another room, right? Yep. This is going to take time, folks.
Right. Yep. Paco said it's sad. They're enslaved to drive a boat. Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, Full Metal Jacket said, what if it's Junior? Trump Jr. or JFK Jr.? I'm just curious what you think there. Too. Virgo 47 said, I started with him on Twitter years ago. Yeah, me too, Virgo. And it just cracks me up. Nurse said, what's the account? So it's called Donaldo, Donaldo, Trumpo, Trumpo. But his username is Papi, Papi, Trumpo. So that's where, and I think that's pretty much across the board on all the platforms.
He sounds Spanish.
Yeah, well, I think that was kind of the take on it. Extreme Diecast said EBS will finally activate. Well, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I don't know that is actually going to happen. Full Metal Jacket said, yeah, JFK Jr. It could be. It could very well be. I don't know what to expect. We'll see. Oh, it's sponsor time. Okay, so as you all know, we're not bringing the screens up anymore because of TikTok. We're not really sure if that's what's triggering it or not. But Mike Lindell is fighting hard for this country, and he has for a long time, and he's paid a significant personal price. If you need some last minute Christmas gifts, if you need bed sheets or pillows or you name it, go to Mike, get them from him. He's earned our business. Use the discount code SAM. Also, Neil Naturopathic, chemical free, toxin free hair care products. NeilNaturopathic.com. Use the discount code SAM20. And of course, Dr. Peter Glidden, who's with us every Friday, bringing the truth. And he is a gunslinger when it comes to health and wellness. He knows what he's talking about. Go to my website, samshalhoub.com. Click on the Dr. Glidden button in the upper right-hand corner. It'll take you to his website. And he has a wealth of knowledge. If you join as a member on his site, use the code SAM, and you'll get a 30% discount. And then, of course, Best Line Racing, our newest sponsor. Perry has a company that provides oil treatments and fuel treatments. He's going to be with us on Thursday, by the way, everyone. And he's got some new scientific data that he has procured and has spent quite a bit of money testing his products. And he will be joining us. But if you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on his link, you'll get a discount on any, and he is going to be making a special offer on Thursday for all of our followers. Virgo 47 says he has the epic stash. Exactly. Wildlife fan said, Sam, when El Trumpo cracked me up was Truth Social posts of Jesus. Yeah, well, he comes out with some really good stuff. He really does. He, she, them. I have no idea who it is. I mean, I have my ideas, but God only knows if it's accurate or not. Okay, so moving on. In a massive win, President Trump just secured the construction of a $7.4 billion critical minerals smelter and processing facility in the great state of Tennessee. James, what'd you hear about it?
Well, so far, we know it's going to Clarksville, Tennessee, so they're probably jumping for joy down there. They got some more industry coming in their direction. Korea Zinc partnering with the United States on a new $7.4 billion facility. They're going to be working with gallium, germanium, antimony, zinc, copper, silver, gold, palladium, and tellurium, all of which are crucial for semiconductors. They're going to also be used for defense, for chips, and in EVs. Ultimately, what this is meant to do is reduce our reliances on foreign countries.
Right, exactly. Dave? Can't hear you.
You're muted, sir.
You guys are all angry elves. Okay. This facility is the first U.S. zinc smelter since 1970s, aimed to produce 540,000 tons of key materials annually by 2029, solidifying domestic supply chains.
And I heard that the Department of War will hold some stake of it in the venture. Alex, have you heard that?
Yes, and fun fact. We went in the United States from 23 operating smelting plants down to 5 active today. If that gives you any kind of indication, between 15 and 20 facilities that have been completely shut down over the last 50, 60, 70 years. Notably the lead smelting during Obama's presidency, which made it very difficult for people to stock their cabinets. It's a really good thing to see smelters and iron and lead and zinc and copper and all of these things that are a matter of national security. We shouldn't be relying on other countries to do these things, because you look at the quality of what we get from other countries. It's good. This is good news, really good news.
Right.
Yeah,
100%.
but isn't it nice to save our environment and just ship that over to another country so they can? Oh wait, that damages our
Exactly.
Except me
Exactly.
button.
And
Put my mute.
John Gwynn made a really good point. He said also, when we were talking about Mike Lindell, he said follow Mike's journey to governorship. That's exactly right, John. I should have brought that up. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Can you imagine if he actually wins the governorship? Holy cannoli!
He will.
I think he will too, as long as we have free and fair elections. Yes. Wendy J, Bobby, Kathleen Garcia, thank you all for the gifts. Knight 2024 said 107 predicts a national emergency concerning the 2020 election fraud. Loy Brunson at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, well, we had Loy on the show, and I've got to reach out to him this week. It could be. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm confident it's going to come out, but I'm not sure how it's going to play out. David Morales said, could be a JFK Jr. or Carolyn's son or daughter. Some believe Kylie McInerney is connected. I think he's talking about Papi Trumpo. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. But whoever it is, I believe they're dialed in. Exactly.
Startup.
SEC Chair Atkins said that blockchains are more transparent than any legacy financial system ever built. And this comes on the heels of Ripple becoming a bank, and now PayPal has applied to become a bank. Alex, what do you make of it?
Well, I mean, it's the truth. The entire premise and founding of the blockchain era that we're in is transparency and accountability, tracking, understanding that it, and it's excuse me, non-fungible. Nobody can go in and edit. Where we live today, everybody's like, oh, digital. Folks, we're already digital, right? We talked about this, was it yesterday's show? They can go into your account and, oh, I added some money, or I deleted some money. It's all digital. I mean, cash is king for us. We've talked about precious metals and other ways that currency, legal tender. We see states passing laws to say that gold and silver are legal tender. When they start passing laws saying crypto, blockchain is legal tender, it's what's coming. There are the downsides to things, and people say that they can hack it and can steal it and can freeze it and can come after it. Those things are true, but it's more transparent. So what wallet, what address, what person, what account, right? You can track it.
Right. Cognitive Dissonance is here. Hey, Cognitive. He said, Sam, silver, gold, platinum. Absolutely, you're right. 100% I agree. James, what do you make of all this?
Well, it is a growing pain as the digital currency shows its presence in the market. Places like PayPal announcing that they're going to be a bank. I mean, that's kind of troubling news if you think about it. But becoming a bank is not that simple. First, you need a solid business plan. You got to have 15 million in assets or fund or liquid. You need experienced leadership. You need robust risk management. You need federal and state approval. You need OCC and Fed Reserve, and you need approval, and you need FDIC deposit insurance. So if you think about PayPal being involved in money, they probably have that already. So for them to announce, the only thing they really need to do is get FDIC, which they probably already have, and the OCC and the Fed Reserve to stamp their ticket, and they're in. So what they've been doing for these past amount of years, being who they are out of, I believe it's Lincoln, Nebraska, isn't it? PayPal.
Yeah, I think it is.
They're well on their way, if not already, a bank.
Right. Dave?
Yes, I agree. It's going to be interesting. It's all coming. This is something we talk about every week, and it's coming in a hurry. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays. Obviously, with the banking and what we're learning about the 9 banks and what's going on. We talked about yesterday. There's a lot of a lot of bad stuff on the banking side. So this is getting away from them.
Well,
Yeah,
the
Virgo.
Office of Comptroller Currency, the OCC, has already granted conditional approval to Circle, to Ripple, to BitGo, to Fidelity digital assets. We all know about Fidelity, who Fidelity is, big boys, right? Now they're in digital assets. Paxos, other notable applications. Coinbase has applied. Crypto.com has applied. Kraken, like it's happening. It's happening.
It is. Virgo 47 said, "What did you all think of JP Morgan in Mexico at the mine?" And what she's referring to is there's one mine in Mexico that produces something like 40% of the world's silver supply, or some ridiculously high number. And historically, they would disperse that throughout the world. Well, apparently Samsung jumped on a plane after something happened with the COMEX when it shut down a couple weeks ago. Well, they jumped on a plane and they went directly to Mexico to try to work out a deal where they can get silver and make sure that they have it, right? Because of this new battery tech. Well, one of the reasons because of this new battery technology that they're coming out with that has a heavy use of silver. Now, I haven't been able to verify it. I've talked about it. I believe that happened. But Dave, you're shaking your head. What do you think?
Well, that tells you how important what the deal is with silver and what it's coming down the pipe here with all the electronics, all the nuclear, all that stuff. It's going to be a hot item for sure. And kind of switch a little bit off topics. Gold is going to have to make like almost $70 a day to get that stake. Alex,
John Gwynn, I think you might be safe. Bobby said that JP Morgan in Singapore. That's weird. Yeah, again, JP Morgan at a moment's notice had everyone from their precious metal desk moved to Singapore. What was that all about? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it at this point. Knight 2024 said 50 state credit unions per the U.S. debt clock. Interesting. State credit unions.
Saying what that was about, they were tucking tail and running is what the deal was.
Right, exactly. But there had to be more to the story than that, I would think. Is there no extradition in Taiwan? I don't know. Or Singapore. All right, moving on. So President Trump announced he's signing an executive order to classify fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. Does this give him more emergency powers, James?
Obviously, yes, it does. And you have to think about what fentanyl has really done. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have met their demise with this. 2 milligrams, almost an untraceable amount, the equivalent to 10 to 15 grains of salt, constitutes a lethal dose. Wow. So yes, it is very, very, very dangerous. And the smugglers today that, much like we were over by Venezuela guarding against, much of the cocaine and other substances that come to the United States are being laced with fentanyl because they don't want to just hurt us. They want to take us out.
Right, exactly. Alex?
Game over.
Yeah, exactly.
Game over, right? Like it opens the door for us to continue to ratchet up the heat.
Yeah, 100%. Dave?
Yeah, I think President Trump will shut it down no matter what direction we go here. If he's got to put pressure back on China, back on Mexico where it's coming through, obviously Venezuela is an issue, but again, maybe even the northern border, so through Canada. So we'll see how that plays out.
Could very well be. So I got to say, you guys, Towie Bixby is our personal cheerleader in the chat. She is constantly reminding people to tap the screen so we can dance at the end of the show. And I want you to know, Towie, I see that, and I'm very grateful that you do that. We're going to have to get you a little cheerleader outfit and some pom-poms because you do a great job doing that. Kissing Bandit Lipstick said, so JP Morgan running from corruption, 100%.
Well, back to the JP Morgan and corruption, just a quick example. So currently, there are anywhere between 500 and 600 million paper ounces of silver. Okay. Physical silver in the COMEX right now, was around 151. Massive calls of outflows have brought it down to somewhere between 80 and a million ounces. There's a big difference between 600 million and 100 actual million.
And don't we utilize 1.2 billion ounces of silver globally per year? And I think the mines can only produce less than 30% of that or something like that. It's a big number.
Historically, yeah, the ratio has spiked in recent years, almost 28-1, higher than registered stocks. It's coming, folks. It's coming.
1.28 billion is the top end of that. 35 to 40 metric tons of silver are used.
Yeah, Bobby
annually.
said 1.3. Yeah, it's right in that. It's big. It's a big number.
Yep.
Towie Bixby said that silver selling in Hong Kong for $200 an ounce.
Yep, Japan 110.
Wow.
So Sam, that goes to stand to reason why Samsung comes running. They want to be on the forefront. It's obviously the success of Samsung is based on being proactive and not reactive.
And that reminds me, and the reason I have such a concern about it is, as you all know, I owned a semiconductor distribution company back during the dot-com boom. And I remember IBM was one of my biggest customers. And they had called me one day and they were looking for a double EEPROM chip that they couldn't get a hold of. And it was a 911, all cars, it was crazy. And so when I talked to the buyer and I said, what the heck's going on here? I don't get it. Why is this such a big deal? I was fairly new to the industry. And he said, Sam, we have lines that create specific computer lines, servers, PCs, and what have you. And he said those double EEPROMs were needed for a specific server line. And what happens when you don't have just one of those components, it's called line down. So the line cannot produce what it's supposed to produce. And I remember this is back in, 98, 99, 2000. And he said, if we don't get those double EEPROMs and we go line down on this particular server line, it was at that time $250,000 an hour that they were losing. Now, could you imagine that with silver? And with silver being used in telephones, cell phones, in solar panels, in electric car batteries. I mean, my God, the list just goes on and on. If we go short on silver, there's going to be a problem.
There's silver in the circuit breakers in the control panel of every home. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yep, exactly. 100%. John Gwynn, thanks for the confetti. All right, let's move on. So RFK Jr. said there's another look at that from Charlie. That was SpongeBob showing his behind, I think. Secretary Kennedy was thanking Walmart. He said the largest grocer and food retailer in the country for committing to remove synthetic food dyes and 30 other ingredients from their store brand foods and beverages. James, what do you make of it?
Well, it's not hard it's not hard to figure out why they're doing that. RFK Jr. puts the pressure on the manufacturer of whatever the food is and says, look, we're going to sanction you from about everything if you don't get rid of it. So Walmart's just jumping in on it, getting the free advertisement saying, hey, we're doing this. Well, you know what? RFK Jr. did it to the manufacturer of whatever the garbage food it is that they're producing. So Walmart's just taking a pat on the back.
Yeah, 100%. James, Dave?
A lot of the dyes we talked about it, red 40, yellow 5, and 30 other bad ingredients for you. And my son approves the new Kraft mac and cheese with no dyes. So it is officially better than it was.
It's a winner.
Not worse. It
Go
is.
Finley.
That's a positive.
Alex?
Winner, chicken dinner. I mean, more, please. Yes, more, please.
John Gwynn said, nobody can slow our awesome roll. So true. I mean, you guys, there's so much happening right now, whether we look at agriculture and regenerative farming, whether we look at food dyes and preservatives that are being removed from the food, whether we look at the political realm and the nefarious characters that have been entrenched in our government for decades, not to mention every other government, or at least 184 other countries besides our government. There is so much happening right now. And I've said this many times. I could literally do a 30-minute daily dispatch every day, but I try to keep it as brief as possible because I want people to get an overall view of what's happening. But my gosh, you guys, we are looking at historic times that we get to live in right now. James, what do you think?
It is very exciting. And as you said, there are so many things on the platter. And, we're only in the 12th month of a 4-year administration. And to get this ball moving, it's almost like perpetual motion. Very, very exciting times for sure. The thing that excites me more than anything is we're putting the fly swatter on the fentanyl, and we're putting the fly swatter on all the nefarious drugs that come into this country. Because what do we have for the future? Our kids, and we don't need our kids on that shit.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And that's a lot of what we're doing here is for the kids, for our kids and grandkids and so on and so forth. Alex?
It's you talk about drugs, the overdoses, the things that have happened. Personally hits really close to home. I know for me, and I'm sure for quite a few viewers, we all know somebody that has fought that battle and lost. We know people that have fought that battle and won. So, cleaning up our health, removing what is readily available to someone who has a hard time saying no. That includes the food system too, right? Like how many people, based off of the crap that they're putting into us, we're the most obese nation. Like it's just like you said, Sam. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, brother.
And I was just speaking with a family member this morning who's struggling with a weight problem, and what people don't realize is the bad foods. Once your body becomes toxic, your body craves those bad foods. It's a vicious circle. And we had somebody in the chat was talking about the food supply, and it's exactly right. Bobby said, why aren't all the aisles in the grocery stores health food aisles? Well, we're going that direction, but unfortunately, people that are stuck in that rut, it takes a significant action or thought to get them out of that rut. Now, once the body starts to move in that direction, the body will adapt. But unfortunately, food manufacturers in America have, and this is just my opinion, have specifically attacked the food supply because they can control people through it. I mean, ultimately, when you talk about your mood is controlled by hormones. Hormones are controlled by the food that you eat. And if they can toxify those foods and cause you to crave those bad things because their profit margins are a lot higher, that's what happens. And it takes a significant movement on the individual to get away from that vicious cycle. And fortunately, we're moving in the right direction.
And Sam, you seen those Oreos that the guy lit on fire on top of his welding table that were burning for 12 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure cookies aren't supposed to burn for 12
exactly. Exactly. Dana Mackey said they've sold us down the river on so many levels. That's so very true, Dana. Absolutely true. But now things are changing, and they're changing for the better.
Well, Dave, I think you fell onto something there pretty valuable. I mean, that could be the new replacement for Duraflame if you're, needing.
Yeah, car power. Oreo car power.
You can use a slice of Kraft cheese for the same thing.
Same concept.
Jeez. Virgo 47 said, I haven't eaten an Oreo in years. They were my fave. I know. I loved them too. Dunkin' in milk. Oh, gosh.
We're going to get Sam to try it with some sour cream. And
you got to be crazy. Are you crazy? Sour cream and Oreos? What are you thinking, Dave?
You might have to do 3 more push-ups after that bite.
The only time I would try that is if I was in Iowa with you. Then maybe I might give it a whirl. But other than that, No chance.
I think we could get Alex to do
Don't
it.
do it.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It doesn't even sound appetizing. Nancy Lynn official is here. Good morning, Nancy. Charlie just showed up. Hey, Charlie and Pam Lee. Welcome in, everybody. So the last story, and I just had to, it just cracked me up. I saw this meme posted, and I don't even remember where I saw it. But it said that nobody has a bigger heart than President Trump. This Christmas, he's flying thousands of illegals home to be with their families. Now, that's funny, but it's absolutely accurate. James?
110%. I mean, for that troll, that is a troll. And for to send another pleasant reminder, a dig, knife in the back, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's just a reminder that we are on top of it, and it's cause for celebration.
Yeah. Charlie said Oreos are as addictive as cocaine. Boy, I don't know about that, but they're pretty addictive. Alex?
You're supposed to eat them, not snort them.
Exactly. And you're sure as hell not supposed to put sour cream on them.
Well, you're probably right.
And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Look, Master and Troll, give it to him. That's funny. That's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Cindy Hayden 59 said, please send ice to West Kentucky. Well, they're there. Trust me. Dave?
Well, and President Trump looks good in red too, right here.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he does. I'm telling you, we're going to have an intervention with Dave and CapCut.
Oh
my
so
God.
fun.
He's sending video after video. Some of them are really good, though.
TikTok has AI now.
Oh,
So
you sent me a message saying you teach me how to do that.
Yeah, the video. So like if you go up on your round circle and there's a plus on it, you literally can put a video and AI at, and that was the shark I was riding drinking a beer.
Do you tell it what you want?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
you put a picture of your face and say, okay, this is what I wanted to do, and that's what I said. I said I want to be riding a shark drinking a beer.
Okay. Of all the things, of riding a shark drinking a beer, I think that
it was like
speaks
9 o'clock
volumes,
last
Dave.
night. It was like 9 o'clock last night.
Exactly. Oh gosh. Wendy J said CapCut is addictive as Oreos. Exactly. Lisa Maria said, I love them, Dave. Keep them coming. I do too. It cracks me up. All right, everybody.
Alex and James probably don't want them to keep going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we come to the end of the show, and we are at 121,000 likes. You guys are awesome. So that means one thing. Oh, wait. Let me sign off over here on X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Thank you all for being here with us. We'll see you tomorrow.